Let's do
Now
it.
the next slide, for whatever reason, is a paperback copy of Lermontov's A Hero of Our Time, and it's the Nabokov translation, which I think is the one I read. I
It's not
know.
the one I read, unfortunately, because
Okay.
I'm sure it's better than the one I read. I kind of read the version that was just in the local bookstore, and it was more of a cheapy version.
Okay.
But
So why is this here? Looks like the Caucasus Mountains on the cover.
exactly, and I just thought it was a nice way to enter this realm that we're going to embark upon now.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to my trip, I reread this book and read the scenes of Lermontov trudging through the Caucasus and reveling about the same towns that I was going to visit. He's the number one cultural attraction for the places I was visiting. So everything, a lot of coffee shops or monuments would have some link to this novel. And
Is he a native of the region, or is that just where he ended up and ended?
yeah, I don't think he's a native of the region, but depending on how much time I'm going to spend on Lermontov, I have some interesting stuff I can relay. But the main things, let's just say, about why this novel is on the Russian canon or in the Russian canon is it's considered a huge advancement of the Russian novel form in terms of the style of narration, um, the Byronic main character who is sort of like a representative of nobles who didn't have a major purpose in their life. They were kind of like dandies, intellectual, sensitive, but perhaps without much quote unquote morality and in many cases motivation. So the hero of the story, Pechorin, many would say his life eerily mirrors that of Lermontov. Um, and what I'd like to just quickly say, maybe on this slide, is just how it is that Lermontov ended up in the Caucasus.
Yeah.
So he was living in St. Petersburg and mixing with the high society, but was considered quite a divisive figure because his character was just rather argumentative, and he just pissed a lot of people off. So despite being this like sensitive poet and an arguably talented writer, he was a bit of a dick.
He
And
was a bad boy like Mayakovsky.
I guess so. Mayakovsky seems more explicitly moral, though, in terms of his messaging, anyway. But maybe in his autobiography would be. You're right in that. But anyway, I just want to say that he was living in St. Petersburg. Pushkin dies, and Lermontov is crushed, or allegedly he's crushed. He publishes a poem called Death of the Poet, Smierter Poeta, in 1837, just days after Pushkin dies, and it goes viral. So it's passed around among the Petersburg intelligentsia, but he's added a final 16 lines, I think after the initial draft gets out, where he accuses the elites of Russia as kind of being responsible for Pushkin's death, just calls them out in a really direct and eviscerating way. And the Tsar, Nikolai I, catches wind of it No, actually, I'm sorry. I don't think it was Nicholas I. I think it was Alexander. Nicholas I does come into power during his lifetime. But anyway, he's banished. He's exiled to the Caucasus uh, as a soldier in one of the local regiments. And
Mm-hmm.
upon arrival and integrating with the region, he falls in love with it, and it takes on a major role in his work from then on. So that's how he ended up there. I hope that's
Hmm.
fairly clear.
From St. Petersburg to the Caucasus,
That's right.
the same
Yeah,
route you took.
but he didn't take a plane though.
Hmm.
Plane of the
How
mind.
would he have gotten there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I assume he was very good on a horse. I'm sure. Horses have a big role in a hero of our time as well. I don't know how well you remember it, but
But that would be quite a long haul to go on
surely,
horseback.
surely.
I mean, the Black Sea is nearby. He could have gone by ship, right?